everybody doing?
Happy Thursday Night Live.
Welcome to Keto on the Couch.
Keto on the Couch, Keto on something.
Our Thursday Night Live here on Two Crazy Ketos. I'm Joe.
And I'm Rachel.
And we're Two Crazy Ketos. And here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics. And every Monday, we sit down on the couch for Keto on the Couch. We just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us on all kinds of different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way, every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Yeah, I was making sure, because one of the mics was on a different mic. I was trying to make sure that one is off.
Hello!
So how's everybody doing today? Let's see hello to everybody.
I am
Give us a thumbs up that you can hear us.
Excited to be here. I needed you guys today. Like this, I have been looking forward to tonight all day long.
Why?
I just really love our family, and I just missed them. I just missed them. I think what it was having Keto on the Couch live on Monday made me just like, oh, that was so awesome, and I couldn't wait.
Let's see who's in here. Renee is in here. She said first. Christopher's here. Stephanie's here. James is here.
Boom.
Gail is here.
Hey, James. Hey, Gail.
Margie is here.
Hello.
Lisa is here.
Hey, Lisa.
Kim is here.
Hey, Kim.
Emily is here.
Hi, Emily.
Brianna is here.
Hi, Brianna. How are you
Annie
guys?
is here. Shauna is
Annie.
here. Said hello, everyone.
Shauna.
Everyone earlier than me. National Hug Day to the only people that I can hug.
Oh, man. It's so funny that you mentioned that because I was listening to that on the radio. I'm warning you right now that I have been listening to a ridiculous amount of 90s music this afternoon.
Oh, yeah?
So it's bad. But I did find out that it's National Hug Day.
It is?
And I want to hug so bad. So we're just sending all the virtual hugs.
You.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I needed that. I needed hugs.
Okay, so Heather is here. James is here. Jennifer is here.
Hey, Jennifer.
Mommy's here.
Hey, Mom.
Maureen is here. Wright family is here.
Mommy went to the Murakami Museum. I'm
Shauna
super
is
jealous.
Here. Trisha is here.
Such a cool place.
It is a cool place.
It's like right in the middle of Boca Raton, out of nowhere, springs up the most gorgeous. I mean, you're like in Japan.
Right.
And it's bonsai trees and it's Zen gardens and it's just, what a relaxing place.
Steph said, I finally got out of the house and went to the store for the first time in a month.
Wow. It's weird, right? When you like venture out, it's very strange.
It is.
It's strange. I mean, it's good, but it's strange. It really is. It was weird living in a house all week that did not have wheels underneath it. Isn't that weird?
It did have wheels underneath. That was the whole point.
This week.
Oh.
We've been indoors.
I feel like we haven't been home a week. We've only been home 3 days.
Not living in a parking lot.
Yeah, that was definitely kind of weird.
I remember one of my favorite movies because I love Jane Austen stuff, but Persuasion. Mm-hmm. And there was a captain in it, and he complains about trying to get like his land legs because he's so used to living on a boat that it feels weird living on land again.
Okay, so it's funny. You spent the day listening to 90s music.
I did.
I spent the day watching this new show that I found on Netflix.
I know.
And it is really good. I remember, was it the W&B network? Which network was it? It was off of one of those little tiny networks.
Not a clue.
Right? And it's called In the Dark. Has anybody seen this? It's only got 2 seasons.
A blind leading lady.
And it's about a blind girl who, like, really, in the end, doesn't care about herself at all. She really doesn't like herself at all.
Sad.
But her friend, who was this 15-year-old kid who was a drug dealer, but what saved her when she was being mugged at one point, was murdered. And she is trying to solve the murder.
Get justice for him.
For him, because nobody cares. And there's all these things intertwined in these other cases and these police corruption and everything. And it is a really good show, but it's one of those shows, like, it doesn't have, like, Listen, there's two people who are blind in it, and every time you watch it, you catch them actually staring at the actor they're talking to.
Right, you're like, hey.
So it's not like the greatest acting. It's decent acting, but not like awesome. But the plot behind it is really, really good. So like, I am hooked. Like, I can't stop watching episode to episode to episode.
All I know is every single time I pop in, the boy that she's trying to get justice for is like on the screen. I think he's the best actor out of them all. He's cute as he can be.
And he's dead in the show.
And he's dead, but he's amazing. He's an amazing actor. I'm really enjoying him.
Renee said, just found out Bridgerton is coming back for a second season. If you haven't watched it, so good. Can be a bit risque, but so good.
I'm glad to have somebody say that it's good, because every single time I see a little pop-up, I'm like, that looks like it is all me for a show. Like, I think I would love that show, but I'm glad to know that Renee likes it, because then I'm like, okay, I'm in. Because, if I get invested in this, I'm going to have to watch it till the end. And maybe
you give up shows, though.
Maybe
you
it
get
just
like
becomes
3/4 away and give up a show. And it's so irritating, because it's like you want to watch the end. And
I'm like, man, I'm done.
I'm done.
I can't do any more Walking Dead. They needed to end it like 2 years ago.
Well, I even stopped with that. Renee said, your hair is adorable.
Oh, thank you.
Denise said, hey, Joe and Rachel.
Hey, Denise.
Chris said, hey, Miriam and I are having dinner, chaffles and bacon.
Ooh, for the win. That is so good.
Oh, wait, I just saw somebody said that they are watching it. Emily said, I love the show In the Dark on Netflix. It is so good. It is like I've literally watched a season in a day.
You can't look away.
You can't look away.
Can't stop. Me and Caleb, he's already finished season 2 of Mandalorian, and he's like, Mom, I just need to share this with you. Can we just watch it again, and like you watch the episodes with me? So I'm like, yes, of course. When your child wants to, when your adult child is like, let's watch together.
But I haven't watched the second season yet.
Did you watch us eat sperm this week? Did you watch my family eat sperm? Heather said, are we still friends? Because she and Phil are the ones that sent us the cod roe.
Anthony was...
And we didn't realize until after we posted it that I thought that all roe was the eggs.
No, well, it is eggs, but roe could be male eggs or female eggs.
I did not know
that. I knew that.
I did not.
I did not tell that to Anthony.
But we enjoyed telling them this week after it's already passed.
Right.
And there's no more chance of them throwing up.
Yeah, when you get the soft stuff, that's male sperm. That's the fish sperm.
So that was my week. Realizing that.
He said, howdy everyone, sorry we're late. We are prepping things for a new cooking demo that we want to do tomorrow night live. Yes, they're doing a live thing tomorrow.
I am so excited. Tune in. If you have not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Hit the little bell button so that you'll know every single time that they're going to be doing a live, because that is super exciting.
Yeah. Emily said, I love Bridgerton too. Glad to hear another season is coming.
Nice. Chris says, hi, Rachel and Joe. Watching with my 10-year-old son, Andrew. He loved it. If you'd say, hi, Andrew, hello.
Hello, Andrew. Yeah,
How
Renee said we missed a comment she wanted us to read.
I'm so glad you're here.
Renee said, I am super pumped. I had a patient I've been seeing a few times walk 15 and 25 feet with her walker. She sits and tells me I haven't walked in 8 years.
Is that exciting?
I love my job.
That is so awesome. And I'm loving hearing what's going on with Jolly. Jolly is going to make a full comeback. That guy is a fighter. I love that doggy. So I want to know, what is Andrew's favorite cartoon character? Because I want to see, like, Andrew, do you and I have like some of the same taste in cartoons? Like, I need to know, what's your favorite character?
It can't be like, somebody from like Bob's Burgers or something like that.
No, I have a feeling like no. I'm sure it's going to be somebody awesome that like we share. I bet we have the same taste.
April said the Family Food Fear Factor was awesome but gross. Yes, it was gross.
I was just so proud of the boys. That's just love for Mama and Papa, right? That you're just willing to be like, all right, we'll do it. Whatever makes you happy, Mom and Dad.
Renee said, yes, Jolly has been a major trooper through all of this. Love him so much. And Devara is attentive to him. I did want to mention, I got an email for those of you who like keto bars, both the hot chocolate, the vanilla, and also the bars. We now have a coupon code. Okay, and the coupon code is 2krazy ketos. You can use it one time per email address, and you're going to get 15% off when you use that code.
I
so
like
there's a
more
link
money.
down below. I have not put the coupon down there because they literally just emailed that they were going to give me a coupon code.
As soon as we're like, more money off, let's do it.
So, yeah, if you like keto bars, which it's probably my favorite thing for going camping because it doesn't melt.
Yeah.
At 15% off, but you can only use it one time. It's Too Crazy Keto.
Per email.
Per email.
I'm going to wink it. It's slap a stick.
Shelly said, Joe, I love your shirt. Now I want to go to that Harvest thing. Okay, so the Harvest thing, that is called Harvest Hosts, and it's a membership, basically, and it allows you all over the country. There are golf courses and wineries and farms and different things like that.
But like somebody said, that's like one trip to a hotel is the entire year's membership.
Right. And then we actually have a coupon code or a link that gets people 15% off of that.
And then you stay all these places.
Right. For free.
For free.
And, well, it's not really free. They ask you, these businesses and farms, they don't get compensated at all. So you pay Harvest Host for organizing it all, but they don't get any compensation from Harvest Host.
They're doing it for the hope of somebody coming into their store.
And getting more, noticed in the public and stuff like that. So what they do is, they do ask you that when you stay there, either make a donation or go spend $10 to $20 per night in their store, which we had no problem. It was a coffee shop. We spent $60.
But it was so much stuff we got.
But, okay, so for $60, I got a hat. We each got a shirt. We got a mug.
Yes.
A pound of coffee that was roasted a week ago, and it was the Mexico coffee.
Our coffee for the day.
You got earrings.
I got earrings made out of coffee beans.
And we got a bar of soap made with coffee.
Hello.
And I feel like there was something else that we got too, but I don't remember what it is. And that was all $60. I'm used to paying. Oh, and 2 cups of coffee. Like in our big mugs.
I feel like we were robbing the place when we left. Like we had so much stuff. But here's the thing. When I'm talking to him, he's like, I've been here 16 years and really it's been a labor of love that like he's been just paying for it and not really, I don't think, making much money off of it, just enjoying renovating it.
Right.
Because he lives in this little town that's like, you're kind of the town weirdy, like how much.
Seriously, I'm planning on moving to that town.
But for us, it was like the coolest place ever. And I told him, I said, I wish that my kids had some place like this to just hang out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That it wasn't just like, it is coffee. You're sitting around there drinking coffee. Like, that's where you want your kids to hang out.
Yeah, he's actually got this little thing where he's turning bird baths into tables. He put glass over them. Now he's filling them with lights and water and then going to put fish. So, like, you're literally going to have coffee with fish sitting under your table.
He's like, I'm odd here in Frostproof. And I'm like, you're right up my alley, sir.
Shauna said, Joe and Rachel, I love your family. Caleb is such a tender heart, not willing to devour his family in a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, he's...
I could not make him eat me. I could not.
That sounds really bad.
No matter what. No, I thought, he's going to be like, well, there's going to be some threshold where he's like, at some point, I'm going to have to eat mom and dad to like, they'd want me to keep living. And he's like, no.
Thank you very much for that $5 super chat. And Brianna said, I didn't need a reason to not eat raw but gross. Fair warning to my family, to my family, cannibalism before sperm.
Yeah, it's, you set the bar high, but that's the bar, I would think. And I just wanted to say, like, Shauna, I love you, and we're praying for you. That precious girl has got so many things going on that's trying to fix her hand. We're just keeping you in prayer.
Yep.
I am just amazed by you, girl. You just rock it. You have such a fantastic attitude, and I just love you.
So Gail said, tonight I had bacon wrapped cheese sticks and fried eggs and bacon drippings.
Hello?
Dipped in Rao's pizza sauce. I was craving that, and it did not disappoint. So I have to stay out of the Discord.
Delicious food.
I keep jumping into Discord, seeing pictures of food and posts and talking about recipes. And I'm like, we have 10 more days that we can't eat.
But I am so encouraged because here's the thing. And you guys, you are nailing it because the most opposition, we get emails all the time saying like, I really want to do this. People are talking about health. It's not even weight loss. We get a lot of emails from people who are like, I've got to do something because my life is on the line. It's not even a weight loss thing. It's a health issue.
Right.
And they're like, but I feel like I'm going to be bored on keto. And I'm like, yo, get in this Discord, get in our family group because people post recipes. There is no way you're going to get bored on keto. There's so many amazing recipes out there. It's crazy.
Shelly said 90 watching, only 20 likes. Y'all please like. Yes, please like
Thank
the video.
you. Please like me.
Exit out of the chat.
I would love
Go
it.
hit the like button and then jump right back in. It really does help build up the channel. Deb said, Rachel and Joe, good evening. Love your shirt
Deb.
and your hair, Rachel.
Oh, thank you, Wonder Woman.
Renee said, I went to Sam's and HEB today. Got meat, butter, bacon, shrimp, cheese, eggs, heavy whipping cream, wasted. Just got to separate it out and freeze everything.
Here's the problem, though. I got this shirt. I want to say it was at Target. It was completely gold. All of it washed off. All of it washed off. I washed it in Delicate. Inside out. Completely washed off.
So Kabuto said, thank you, Jeff, for jumping in about the eggs that you add to your keto chat. So I do want to talk about a couple things from the Discord. Okay, so first of all, a bunch of people are asking about eggs, like increasing protein. So it all is based in the same thing.
Right.
So let's talk about protein for a minute on keto. There is a misconception that you can eat too much protein.
I'm excited about Bronson's interview.
Do not worry about eating too much protein. I unfortunately, like our Zoom call from last week, which was supposed to be the first video, got deleted.
Right.
Not by me, by Bronson.
Are you glad it's not your fault?
Yeah, I'm glad for once it's not my fault and Rachel's not yelling at me.
Yeah, because I yell.
But I had a long conversation with Bronson yesterday. And also since starting with Bronson,
I'm proud of you.
I've lost like 5 pounds of fat.
That's something.
I'm down to 21% body fat, and I'm down 10 pounds since starting with him 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago?
But this is something that we've got to make peace with. As we gain muscle, we're not going to see that number on the scale necessarily.
Well, that is something that we were talking about yesterday.
To see.
So we were talking about, and he was like, that he's like he's like his goal is for me to drop 10 pounds of fat but increase 10 pounds of muscle. He's like, but you're not going to see any difference really on the scale, and that's over like a 3 to 5 month period. He's like, you're not going to see any difference really on the scale, but you're going to see a huge difference in your shape and your size and everything else. And I carry all of my fat in my torso. Like when you look at me from the waist down, it's solid muscle from like being on crutches and the way I walk. My calves and my thighs are giant muscle. But
freakish.
Anyway, we're talking about protein and stuff. And Bronson really advocates that you're never counting calories, a lot like what Dr. Berry did. But he does talk about counting something, especially for those of us who have no idea of what does full feel like.
What is full?
And so we were talking about that. So you should be eating at least 1 gram of protein per lean body mass. Okay, per pound of lean body mass. Mm-hmm. So like for me, and to lose weight, he wants me eating 150 grams of protein per day. And then it's a 1-to-1 ratio. I must eat at least 150 grams of protein a day.
And that sounds crazy.
At least. And then up to, but cannot exceed 150 grams of fat. But I do have to have some fat, because if you're eating, and Maria Emmerich talks about this too, if you're not getting any fat, you risk protein poisoning and not being able to absorb vitamins and nutrients and things like that. So, but I have to eat at least 150 grams of protein. He's like, you can go over on the protein, but you can't go over on the fat. Some people are going to eat protein and they're going to have a glucose spike. That is usually because our body is so messed up from insulin resistance and diabetes. Your body just doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, okay? If your glucose goes up because you're eating too much protein, it does not mean that your body is creating glucose from protein. It just doesn't, it's messed up. And the only way it's going to fix is time.
Yes, which we don't want to give it.
It's not like eating sugar or anything like that. But if you're not eating enough protein, you're going to have hair loss, you're going to have muscle loss. Like most of us are not eating enough protein. Also, if you're not sure of what your lean body mass is and you have no access to an in-body scale at home or going and getting a DEXA
love
scan,
this.
he said, look at your goal weight and eat that much protein. So if you want to weigh 130 pounds, then you should be eating 130 grams of protein.
There you go.
Okay,
I love that.
Do it on a 1-to-1 basis. Like
Simple
he's actually
answer.
going to up mine probably at some point. We're going to go up to like 250 grams of protein. But he's like, don't worry about overeating protein. You absolutely have to have protein. And if you're not eating it, you're going to have some major issues. So Don't anybody who starts telling you on keto, if you eat too much protein, you're going to get knocked out of ketosis and you're going to be eating glucose and you're going to be creating glucose from gluconeogenesis. That's not true, because actually your body can create glucose from fat.
Yeah.
And it's easier to create it from fat. So if it needs glucose, which your body does need glucose for certain things, and it's going to create it when it needs to
It'll
run,
make it.
like fight or flight kind of thing. Like if you're running down a street away from a tiger, your body's going to create glucose.
Yes.
If you don't have any carbs or sugar, it's going to turn to the next bioavailable easiest thing, which is actually certain fatty acids. If it doesn't have that, then it will turn to protein. And if it doesn't have that, then it's going to turn to your muscle. But it's going to do it when it needs it, not because the protein is available, because protein is the hardest thing for it to actually turn into glucose. So it's not going to do it unless it absolutely has to. Does that make sense?
I just love, and it really gives you an appreciation for how precious our bodies are,
right? And
how God made us so cool. Look, we can do these things ourselves.
Yeah,
I love it.
So with that being said, they were talking about like a couple people are doing all keto chow, and how can they increase their protein? Because a keto chow, I believe it has about 25 grams of protein per shake. Well, I'm doing 3 keto chows a day, and I need 150 grams of protein. So that's literally 50% of my protein.
Yeah.
And so what I'm doing is I'm eating 3 eggs per keto chow, in addition to the keto chow. And I'm either making our keto chow custard, but we don't add any sweeteners. Literally keto chow, almond milk, water, and 3 eggs. Or we're doing 3, but I know you can. I think my recipe actually calls for 4, but I'm doing 3 right now. But we don't add any sweetener. If I'm not doing the custard, 2 of my shakes a day, I'm literally just taking raw eggs, putting them in the blender with keto chow and water, and that is the drink. And you've had it, and almost every keto chow and had no idea. Because it is very creamy. Those yolks bring so much creaminess, you won't know. And the yolks are your fat.
Joe makes it harder when he mentions it, and then I'm like, ew. But if I don't know it's in there, then I'm fine. And I'll have to say that during the holiday time, I was struggling so much with wanting sweets. The more I just put into I've gotten away from it just for the month of January, the side effect is I find now that the keto chows are even sweeter than they ever were before. So us not adding anything, I'm super, super happy. But it takes that just little bit of discipline to be like, I've got to remove myself away from some sweeteners for just a while.
And I do want to state, by the way,
your palate will change.
We are not, all of this advice is stuff that we've learned from talking to people or experiments on our own body. We're not doctors or nursing, and nothing we are giving you is medical advice. Look at this person. Research everything. These are our experiences. These are our own personal opinions, but do not take this as medical advice. If you have a doctor
who looks like this, run. Run. Is all I can say.
Okay, so Nan said, I'm going to do your egg custard tomorrow. It is really good.
I think you'll really enjoy it. Phone appointment with my diabetes specialist. Still phone appointment. She called me. Her star patient today. Awesome. A1C still great. I'm so proud of you, Shauna. That is awesome.
I didn't think about making that egg custard. Shelly said with the apple pie keto chow. We have not done that.
We have not.
It is really good with lemon meringue and with pistachio.
It is prime for that flavor, though, I feel like.
Yes.
I feel like that is an absolute flavor because I feel like the apple pie keto chow tastes best warm.
Yeah.
And that's not something that I lead with.
I know. Do that for tomorrow.
I mean, it's a good ice cream, but I think that it is really perfect warm.
Right.
Ooh, I hear
Shelly said, at 2 Crazy Ketos, fat does not have to be met. Yes. So he said that I cannot exceed that. And he also said if I go over 15 total carbs, I have to take it away from the fat.
Hello, child.
So, yeah, you don't have to eat all that fat, but he wants me eating fat because he wants me getting calories in. And he's like, and if you're doing that, you will still lose weight. And it works out to be like 2,000 calories or something like that for me right now. And that's just kind of where we're at because we're going to mess with things more once we're out of January and I can eat regular foods and not have to rely only on keto chow.
Right.
He said, but where now? He said, Renee, now that I have your address, I will be able to see that you are less than 4 hours away. Let's see.
Rachel or Joe needs to go in.
What is that?
Oh, into the Discord?
I don't know.
What should we go in?
I don't know.
Where should we go? Renee?
Let's see. Chad said, I've always had my collagen. My coffee today was being a bit lazy. Put my keto chocolate collagen in ice water. Tasted like Yoo-hoo. What a pleasant surprise.
I am totally down with that. A lot of times, when I'm drinking collagen, I just mix it with water. And I mean, y'all know I mix coffee with everything, but with collagen, I just like it with water, and I like it super cold. And I think it tastes like Yoo-hoo. I really do.
Trucker Cat said, I got 2 packs of sardines and olive oil from Costco tonight for $6.99 each 6-pack.
Wow.
I just can't do the sardines. James wants to know, do I include fat in my keto chow along with the eggs or just the eggs? I'm doing 2 of them with just eggs, and 1 of them I'm adding butter as well, just so I eat more, because the way I was doing it, I was only bringing in about 1,300 to 1,400 calories a day, and it just wasn't enough. Shauna said, I'm losing hair again. This is the 4th time my hair has started to fall out. Increase your protein.
Increase that protein. I've been craving fat like crazy. Not sure what that's about.
Give yourself the fat. If you need the fat, give yourself the fat.
Go for it.
Chris said, ooh, we're talking about gluconeogenesis.
And he said, there's no tigers on my road.
Yeah, Chris said 24 to 26 grams of protein in keto chow, depending on the flavor. Crispy said Andrew's favorite characters are Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Captain America.
He's up there with Caleb. He's got a ton of Captain America shirts because he's all about Captain America.
Oh, Miriam is here.
Hey, Miriam.
And Wade D said she hoping for big bags of apple pie keto chow. I'm hoping for big bags of grape.
Yes.
Of grape peanut butter and jelly keto chow. That's what I'm really hoping for.
Gail says, man, I wish you were my doctors. I'm really losing faith in them right now because of the statin pushing. Yeah, after we were there for the Proper Human Diet Summit, I am more passionate than ever of just avoiding the statins, if possible. When you see like what they do to, memory loss and exacerbating dementia and Alzheimer's, and after having a grandmother that passed away from complications with the Alzheimer's, and just watching that whole disease just take a foothold in her life, whatever I can do to avoid that.
Lisa said, I haven't put any additional sweetener in my keto chow. I find them sweet just like that. We find keto chow very sweet, but when you make the custard, sometimes the eggs kind of bring down the sweetness a little bit. So when we did that custard recipe, we added stevia, but
we're finding
it's also
we don't even need
taste.
It.
I mean, some people want it sweet because it was designed to be a dessert.
Right.
But we're using it as a meal.
Yeah.
Chris, how was dinner?
And it reminds me a lot of egg loaf. You know how like egg loaf
it's a little bit
it's
like
got
egg
like
loaf.
there's a bit of sweetness to it.
It needs a few more eggs to it.
But it's just it's that kind of sweetness level to me. Wait to you. I'm still hoping for big bags of apricot pie keto chow. I'm on cloud 9 today. Got a patient to walk after she hasn't. That's awesome.
Okay, so let's see. Chris said, Joe, you were in timeout with Miriam.
Did you suggest peanut butter and jelly again?
I did. You just didn't hear me.
Gotta stop. Just end it.
Chris said it's going to be several months before we make any determination on apple pie large bags. As of now, it's a limited edition flavor.
The best way to let them know that you want it to not be limited edition is to grab some while it's available.
Deb said you need to put apple pie chaffles on the menu. You are missing out. I sprinkled a bit more apple pie spice on top. Hard to say, but my rival may be my favorite keto chow chocolate toffee in any format.
Keto chow chocolate toffee. But yeah, the apple. We're totally missing out on that.
I didn't even think about it.
I'll tell you right now what would be delicious. Chicken salad on an apple pie chaffle. That would be delicious.
Yeah, I guess people do like chicken salad with apple.
Yes, try it like that with a little bit of like walnuts in it.
Kay Gonzo said, I'm 24. I lost 140 pounds with keto and intermittent fasting. My lab results showed my cholesterol high, and doctors said to stop keto and prescribe me on statins.
Wow.
Go check out, you can check out 80 Ketos, or High Fat, High Fun. He's got a couple of videos on that. Dr. Barry. Dr. Barry is talking about, like, his cholesterol's over 300. I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, what you really want to be paying attention is your A1C, your triglycerides. Look at what is your remnant cholesterol, which is going to be total cholesterol. Take total cholesterol, subtract your LDL, and your HDL. You want that number to be super low. And look at where it was before. That's the free floating cholesterol. You want that number to be really low. LDL is not bad. Everybody thinks LDL is bad. It's bad when you're eating a bunch of carbohydrates because it can become plaque and stuff. But in itself, LDL is not bad. There's actually two forms of LDL, LDLA and LDLB. LDLB is bad. LDLA is actually really good. You want to have really high numbers, but doctors, for the most part, unless you specifically request it, will not get that test for you of finding out how much LDLA and how much LDLB.
It's true that Joe completely lost me after he said free farting cholesterol. I'm out. I'm done. I can't think of anything else except for that now.
Gail said, Rachel, my mom died with dementia. With all the info I've learned about statins, there is no way I'm going to do it. My problem is, how do you not argue with the doctors when you say no? You want to be honest? Find a new doctor.
Yeah. Or just like, no, thank you. Like, yeah. I appreciate it.
Here's the thing. I mean,
no, thank you.
As the son of a retired physician, I kind of understand from them.
Yeah.
1 out of 3 patients walked into a doctor's office and is going to sue them.
Yeah.
So they really have to
go by the book.
And what happens is they're risking, if they start recommending things that the medical association does not adhere to and say this is what you're supposed to do, they risk losing their medical license. So, when you have people like Dr. Barry and Dr. Boz and Dr. Sean Baker going out and telling you to eat this way, they're risking their medical licenses.
Well, I was just thinking, because it was this time last year that we were actually sitting down with them and was talking to them, and we were just listening to them talk about them going through that process of getting kicked out of the medical community,
right?
And fighting, all the things that like Dr. Boz was doing to get back her medical license, after all she was trying to do was say maybe there's another way,
right? Not
just like, okay, we need to shut down the way everybody's doing things. She was just suggesting, hey, especially for some of these patients who are like, we can no longer help you,
right?
In that group. Can't we suggest diet? Can't we go that route? If there's any hope at all, no, they're not allowed to talk about it. And when they do, they're really putting their livelihood on the line. And I was glad that we could be there as lay people to just kind of say, like, thank you for risking what you risk to bring us the information that there is a possible other way to live this life.
And you just have to look at it. I mean, if your doctor, if you've got super high cholesterol and every medical book says high cholesterol bad, put them on a statin, and they don't constantly push. They can't make you take the statin. But if they don't constantly say you need to go on a statin, you need to go on a statin, you need to go on a statin, and then something happens and you get sicker or you pass away because of the high cholesterol, your family can sue them because they didn't tell you to go on a statin.
Exactly.
It's just like physicians can be sued if you book a follow-up appointment and then don't show up and then something happens to you. Their job is to keep calling you to find out why haven't you come in and why haven't you come in.
Which sounds crazy.
I can't tell you how many times I would get stitches and not go in I pull them myself.
But if something happened to him, I could sue them because they didn't hound him to come back in for his appointment.
So it's unfortunately it's CYA.
Sometimes
they have to cover their butts.
Sometimes we want the trailblazing doctor, but sometimes we have to be the trailblazing patient.
Yeah, that's perfect. Steph's... Oh, where'd it go? Steph said, got 2 packs of free bacon today. Store ran out of 1 and by the time they asked if I wanted to sub, they closed out the transaction. So they gave it to me for free.
Free bacon? Like, it's your birthday, right? Like, free bacon.
Chris said, David Diamond and Dr. Nadir all have really good YouTube videos on statins and what they really do to you, and you can make an educated decision on statins.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If you decide to go on a statin, we're still friends. Okay, you don't have to be afraid because you're like, hey, I'm not ready to go off of this certain medicine, and my doctor's saying no, and I'm not ready to go on my own. we're okay with that.
I know.
We love you.
Rachel's mom keeps coming. Can you look at my labs and tell me if I should go back on statins? I'm like, I don't need to look at the labs. What do you mean you don't need to look at labs? I don't need to look at your labs. Why not? Because I don't want you to go on statins. I don't care what the labs say. I don't want you on statins, but that's my opinion. That's right. I didn't spend 8 years in school studying all of this stuff. It's what I've learned on my own,
and we can't.
And I know why your doctor is recommending it.
And we can't make decisions for her.
Right. It says, Deb said, I have good news. I got the promotion that I interviewed for last week. It's being announced tomorrow. I'm so blessed to be healthier with keto. It helped me have the motivation to apply.
I'm so proud of you, Deb. That's a huge, huge win. I love that.
He said, perfect. He said, I have figured that high cholesterol means I'm doing keto carnivore correctly.
Probably.
The other thing is you got to remember, your body needs cholesterol. Everybody talks about cholesterol as an enemy. Your body needs it. It needs 3,000 milligrams a day. So if you're not eating it, it's going to make it. So one way or another, you're going to have cholesterol.
Your brain needs it.
Yep. Chris said, no, Dr. Berry isn't going to lose his license. They just burned down his... I was staying as far away from that one as possible, but I do find it a bit of a coincidence that it wasn't just his house, or it wasn't just... And he says it all the time, right? He's like, they can burn down whatever they want. But he's not going to shut up.
But think about that. Think about, how rare would that be? I mean, you think about, how great you are at your particular job. Are you that passionate about whatever you're doing? That's passion. I mean, that takes a lot. I think it would be very difficult to put that on the line and risk those type of things.
Yeah. Chris said it perfect. He said, your doctor being uneducated isn't your fault, but it is your problem.
Yeah.
So you may have to politely educate your doctor.
Yes.
Politely say, hey, can you do me a favor and take a look at this study? Or can you do me a favor and read this book? And they may say no, who are you?
Yeah,
you don't know anything.
It's okay.
But they may be like, hey, you know what? Why not? It's not going to hurt me. It just depends.
Keto Answers book, Lies My Doctor Told Me book. I mean, there's a lot of books out there. Just like the little sign when we come in our garage says, always be kinder than necessary. Yeah. That's all I think is the good policy.
Gail said, it makes me so angry because why we know so much about cholesterol and the doctors don't. I was so touched by a video I saw with Dr. Siwas on doctors the other day. Yeah, that was a great video. And again, because it comes down to they have to follow certain rules and they're not allowed, they're programmed, don't think outside of the box. I mean, even Dr. Berry has talked about in his book, Lies My Doctor Told Me, and on several videos, it's in medical school, they got a day's worth of nutrition training. That's all they get. 4 years, that's what they get, a day. Rachel said, my mom has tried 2 statins and gets deathly ill on them. Her doctor always pushes them and she refuses. She said she'd rather have high cholesterol than be sick all of the time.
I like the fact that we can choose for ourselves. So if that's something that we want to do, I feel very good about that. Can't hold me down and make me take it.
Chris said, Joe told me if I took statins, he wouldn't let me play with his Nintendo and jump on his trampoline.
That's right.
He also said, turn it back on them and tell them if you want a continuous glucose monitor. If they say no, tell them to document they refuse. That's exactly what Dr. Berry had me do. So I went to him last January, and I said to him, what do I do for if the doctor doesn't want to give me a CGM? He says, tell the doctor that, okay, I want a CGM so that I can help prevent myself to have diabetes. I've had high glucose, and if you've ever had a glucose reading ever over 140, then you've had high glucose. He's like, just tell him that I've had high glucose and I want a CGM so that I can monitor my glucose so I can prevent myself from getting diabetes. If he refuses, say to him, okay, I want you to notate in my medical records that I asked for a CGM, you refuse it, and I want a copy of that medical record. And he said, watch how fast that doctor writes that prescription. Why? Again, you're basically saying, I'm going to sue you if you don't give this to me and I get diabetes.
I am so itchy. I went into a thrift store today and they had a big pump of a certain type of hand sanitizer that I did not recognize, and I pumped it, and now no matter how many times I wash my hands, my hands are so itchy. Do you guys ever have a weird reaction to certain hand sanitizers? Because not all hand sanitizers are the same. I've had a couple lately that have been chunky.
I have weird reactions to grass. So
To
if I
grass?
if I go cutting grass and I wear shorts, I itch for days.
It's so weird.
Kind of interesting considering I do landscaping. Huh?
I know, but it's just weird. I haven't had that reaction.
Jessica said my LDL actually lowered a bit, still a smidge high. The NP said if it were any higher, he would say less saturated fat. So I said, but it lowered, and I am living off of beef and butter. He had no words.
Right.
Gail said, I will never go on a statin. I will die first. Well, we don't want that.
No. Okay. Sarah says, thank you for the advice on halting the erythritol for now and avoiding sweets. My weight finally started going down, and I'm super excited.
Awesome.
I love that. Jeannie said, every visit my hubby says, please note in my file that you have to explain it all and I understand my risk, but I am declining against medical advice to take the statin you are offering me.
That's perfect.
Wow, that's nice. That's really nice of you to say, because that covers him and you.
Steph said, I've been doing long fastings off and on for 2 years. No sugars, getting lots of collagen in, and loose skin even getting worse.
What else helps?
What else helps? Okay, well, it's not just collagen. Well, I don't know if you're taking powdered collagen, which will help. It's not a complete protein. Try to get like full sources of protein in too. Yeah. And
I'm telling you, the compression.
Yeah.
The compression stuff in the trouble areas have helped me.
It could take years for loose skin. If you're losing weight, I mean,
you will have cell regeneration.
Think about a rubber band. You keep stretching out that rubber band, it never goes back to what it was. Now, our body does regenerate cells, but it could take 3, 4, 5 years. What would you rather have? And this is something that I have dealt with, and this is something Rachel would deal with. What would you rather have? The big giant belly sticking over your gut and you can't button your pants, or loose skin that you have to kind of tuck down and play with?
Yeah, I mean, you get kind of creative about like what you wear and stuff. I mean, there's some things like my neck. I need to like go to Dolly Parton's stylist because I think that she's brilliant in the way that she like kind of hides things. Probably should wear turtlenecks, but this is may always be a little bit of a struggle for me, but I'm glad it's not all filled up anymore.
Stacy said doctors get themselves into thousands of dollars of debt.
Hundreds of
thousands of dollars in debt. So I'm convinced that they are not always as smart as everyone thinks they are. Yeah, it's difficult. I was actually going to go to medical school, and then I started figuring out that like the average doctor, like, you know, you could be $500,000 in debt, like by the time you're all done, and then that's after graduating medical school, and then you still have residency and fellowship and internship. So you have like another 10 years before you start making any money, and now you've got all of this debt, and you're making maybe $100,000 a year if you're lucky, and that's if you're a specialist. And you're risking like all of the lawsuits and everything else. It's hard on them. It's really hard.
That's a lot.
And then 1 out of 3 patients is going to sue you.
And for every, we talk about like our frustration with the cholesterol stuff. There's a lot of things that we go to. Like I just thought about like my mom recently getting her eyes fixed because she had really terrible cataracts. And being able to get that removed and stuff like that I'm just like, I was so thankful. I hugged the doctor, whether I was allowed to or not. So, I mean, we have frustrations with them, but thank the Lord for them.
Shauna said, I'm glad my specialist is open to all the things I get to share with her. Yeah. That is really good.
And there are a lot of doctors.
There's more and more.
We spoke with, remember the doctor that we met in Omaha? And she was there as part of her continuing education at the keto convention there in Omaha last year because she really was hungry for more information. So not everybody's closed off.
Doctor told me not to, Right Family said, doctor told me not to use certain hand sanitizers. I have eczema on my hands. And
it does. It gets itchy. I've not had this problem, but I mean, the palm of my hands, I don't know if we're like about to, get like a money windfall. That was like an old wives' tale. But like, what does an itchy wrist mean? Because it got down to here.
Shauna said, I carry hand sanitizers in my purse. I use mine rather than what is available.
I like our version better, definitely. But like one of the things is that my ones from Bath and Body Works, they smell so good. I really am very protective of it because it smells so good. I don't want to waste it. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well, if that one's free, I'll take that. But I need to go with the hand sanitizer I know.
Heather said, Joe, did you do a video about your CGM? I think we did it on a few videos.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was one dedicated to the CGM, but we had several videos where we talked about it and stuff. I've used it in a couple of glucose test ones too. The CGM is interesting because what you start learning is don't freak out about numbers, which is something I was saying in the Discord people earlier, like Lisa. It's just like, don't worry about the numbers so much. I think too many times we freak out like, oh, my glucose is like 110 now. So what? I mean, so I know it sounds bad, but
it's upside down from what we're used to.
Listen, if your glucose is under 140, you're considered fine. Okay, 140 to 200 is pre-diabetic. Over 200 would be diabetic, and you don't want to have a glucose over 200 2 hours after eating. So if your glucose is at 101, you're not diabetic. Don't worry about it, and you're not going to need to start injecting yourself with like insulin and have your diabetes coming back if you're just eating too much chicken or steak. It's not going to happen that way.
I am right with Lisa though. Some of the hand sanitizers, they're like sticky.
Yeah.
So like me and Mom went someplace recently and we used the hand sanitizer we got in and she's like, I need a hand sanitizer to hand sanitize.
I'm not into hand sanitizers.
This past hand sanitizer.
Karen said I can't use hand sanitizer. I use it very sparingly. I'd rather wash my hands, and like to me, some of the hand sanitizers. First of all, some of them have so many chemicals.
Splish splash.
Yeah, some of them have just so many like smell good stuff. There's not even any alcohol in them.
Definitely want to continue eating your yogurt and your sauerkraut and working on that gut biome because I'm sure we're just taking it all off.
Renee said, I have some nurse friends that have used Everclear for sanitizer when we couldn't find it. I make my own glycerin and 90% alcohol.
I use like just straight like rubbing alcohol when I can find it. I love that stuff. I always have to put a little bit of alcohol in my ears every time I take a shower because I'm super ridiculously prone to swimmer's ear.
Right.
I don't know why. But it's so
every
annoying.
Day she puts the alcohol in after every shower.
And after every shower, I just put the alcohol in, rinse it out, and then I don't get an ear infection. If I don't, it's like I get an ear infection. It's so frustrating because I'm not even swimming. It's just, how am I getting injured in the shower? Right. How? Only me.
Rachel said, I was down 35 pounds from last year, my physical, and he said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Triglycerides were cut in half at only 69.
Wow.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. I was going to say awful. No, that's not awful. That's awesome.
Mimi said, my surgeon closed her practice because she said the electrician makes more money than her per hour.
I believe it.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Chris said, I can't believe Omaha was a year ago. My desktop wallpaper shows photos from 1 year ago automatically, and everything is Omaha now.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. The world has changed so much. Hey, Rhonda.
Rhonda said, I'm lacking nutrients because I'm craving vegetables. Salads, broccoli, zucchini, and cauliflower.
I love me some broccoli sometimes and cauliflower and zucchini. All the vegetables.
Steph said, I was wondering if I should have different things tested, like estrogen and stuff, because 50 years old, had a hysterectomy at 29. It definitely, I'm assuming she means estrogen. It definitely wouldn't hurt to get your estrogen tested, especially if you use any kind of plastics and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rhonda said, it's strange. I was on sweets kick last week, and this week it's vegetables. I need to round out my meals a little bit better.
Aw. Kim says, I test every day, and one day I will be in ketosis per my keto mojo. Next day, kicked out. Staying in my macros, but not always in my protein. Any thoughts?
Get in your protein. The protein is the most important of your macros.
Muy importante.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Carbs is the most important because you want to just keep it as low as possible, and then your protein. So the protein is the most important because you have to hit that number every day. You need to hit that number. If you're short today, make it up tomorrow, and that's something that Bronson and I talked about. If today if your goal is 150, today you get 110, get 180 tomorrow. But make sure you're hitting that protein. Carbs, keep as low as possible. Fat as a lever. Use it. I told the girls the other day, like, use it to add to your food. If you're trying to lose weight, add it for flavor, add it to, help satiate you a little bit, but you don't need to eat all of that fat.
Chad, I went to Universal recently. They made you put on hand sanitizer before every single ride.
And it's the worst hand sanitizer
well,
ever.
It says whatever brand that they use, it was wonderful and made my hands very soft.
Oh my gosh, that stuff smells so bad. Unless they've changed it.
It did make it soft.
It did, but it smells so bad.
But smell is completely subjective. But oh my gosh, I wish we would go to Universal together, Chad.
Okay, so back to Kim though with the Keto Mojo. Again, we have a Keto Mojo. It's cool to see different things, but also don't freak out about the numbers. If you're keeping your carbs low, don't worry about what that meter says, because you could that's free floating, ketones, and your body can get to the point where it's going to just make what it needs. And the only way you're going to really ink at high numbers is really lowering your calories, because you're going to get into a starvation mode. I wouldn't worry about the numbers. And we've actually did a video where we showed that eating a typical keto meal, and I don't remember exactly what I think Chris actually mentioned.
I know it was burgers.
It was
and
ground
eggs.
beef and eggs and a little bit of cheese, and our ketones went down.
Yeah.
Does that mean that we were eating something that wasn't keto? We got kicked out of ketosis?
Yeah.
No. We gave ourselves fuel, and it didn't need to have all the extra free-floating ketones.
Right.
So Chris said Joe did a video where they ate ground beef and their ketones went down. Don't sweat it. Eat right, and you're good.
Yeah.
Amy said, I'm loving Rachel's recipes posted on Instagram.
Thank you so
much for saying that.
Once we can start eating,
we're going to do videos. They're really good.
We're going to be doing a lot of videos on that. I'm excited about that, and I hope it is a blessing. I'm trying to have a variety of stuff that with easy ingredients that people can get that, doesn't take a culinary master's degree, something that I can make. And I hope it's blessing you. I really do. Thank you for saying that.
Lisa said, I'm doing an extended fast till tomorrow at dinner time. How should I break my fast when I'm ready to break it? It depends. How long are you fasting? If it's more than 24 hours, I always suggest a bone broth. We actually have a video on it.
Just breaking our fast with bone broth.
It's we use a bulletproof bone broth where we're going to add, we take some bone broth, add a little bit of coconut oil. It's
really good.
And different things in there. So we use a little bit of cayenne pepper to help speed up metabolism.
It's a tasty drink that I would drink on the regular, because it's really good.
Okay, so we need to do a giveaway. We got to pick the winner for the Keto Crate.
I'm excited.
Okay?
Yeah.
So also, don't forget, we're giving away keto bricks on Keto on the Couch. So if you haven't done that yet, go over and watch the Keto on the Couch video from Monday.
6 bricks. And it was funny.
And we're doing 6 bricks.
So we got some, what was it? We got some emails that were kind of funny that were saying, could you just tell us, when a giveaway is happening? And we're
somebody complained that we didn't put that we were giving away keto bricks in the title.
It's no, it's a surprise. We got to ninja it in. Sometimes you have to hide it.
Lisa said I'm going 26 hours. Yeah, look for the video on our channel for breaking our fast with bone broth. Okay, so let's do this. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna use pick a winner.
Pick a winner. Here we go. Fetch. Anything goes.
Anything goes. Ooh, how many people? 133 people for Keto Crate, and the winner is CTRSI, who says would love to try Keto Crate.
Okay, so CTRSI, here's what I need you to do. Send us an email at joe@twocrazyketos.com with all of your shipping information and your email address and your phone number, and Keto Crate will send you out a Keto Crate. It usually is next month. In fact, I know it's going to be next month because they've sold out of this month already.
She already came to say hello.
So,
and she looks so grumpy, but she's not grumpy at all.
And Chris said, I don't bother entering anymore because Joe just disqualifies me. Grant him, I tell him to pick somebody else anyway.
Yes, he does. Because if you'd win, I'd give it to you.
Okay.
We'll just send charity for a visit to Chris. Don't you think?
CC Mama said, or you can break your fast with Keto Chow. Yes. Chris said, I routinely break a 72-hour fast with chicken wings. Yummy.
Doing so good. You can sit on the bench next
Right Family said, my work gave me some sanitizer. It smells like a room full of rear ends having an argument.
Wow. Okay, that is maybe the best description I've heard lately.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Caboodle breaks are fast, usually going with higher protein snack than eating a keto meal about a half hour to an hour later. Yeah, which is pretty much what bone broth is doing. You're doing that. You're trying to get a lot of protein. You don't want to break a fast with carbs. That's the biggest thing. Do not break your fast with a bunch of carbs, even vegetables, because your body is very heightened at that point, and it's just going to be some bad results. So the way we do it, because we're trying to add a little bit of potassium, and we're trying to speed up our metabolism a little bit more with some cayenne pepper. So just so long as you're not breaking with carbs, you're going to be good. I like to start with the bone broth just to kind of coat my stomach a little bit, start working on my gut biome a little bit, and then eat a half hour later.
And I'm going to tell you what, after an extended fast, even that, once you drink it, you're thinking, how is this going to even, like, this is going to make me feel woozy. It does, though, sometimes. Mm-hmm. Even just that, you're like, whoa, you get your bearings.
Shelly said, you skipped earlier. I got a coach and she increased my fat. I lost 6.2 pounds and 4 inches in a week. Great.
That is awesome.
Well, that's, again, something I was
Good
talking
job,
about
Shelly.
Bronson. Bronson said when you increase your fat, you're going to notice that you might start losing more weight. Because, again, it comes down to your metabolism. When you give your body a little bit more, especially if you're under eating, your body will start speeding up its metabolism.
Shelly, aren't you, like, continue? Because Shelly's been doing this for a long time, too. You continue to be like everything, literally everything I've been told is wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Everything is wrong.
Deb said, I melted a maple pecan keto brick into pucks that I bought during a limited edition quite a while ago. Had not tried that flavor before. It is amazing. I hope they bring it back.
Yeah,
again.
Me too, because it's really tasty. I think it's one of the best ones for, like, it's just
chocolate
prime.
Peanut butter.
Well, I just think that maple one, it's just prime to be a keto brick.
It's really good.
It's just like, some flavors are just designed.
Sarah said another option you have is fresh beef liver. Miriam mentioned that she cut it up very small and added it to ground
boiled
beef.
Boiled
chicken. Yeah. All
that's
high
a
protein.
great
protein.
thing. And easy.
Chris
a can
uses
of chicken.
Cayenne, Wyoming to speed up his metabolism.
Yeah. Charity, now I have cat hair.
Chris said, what if I'm not under eating? What if I'm under the bridge in a van down by the river?
Down by the river. Like Chris Farley? There's another child coming home. Hello.
So,
all the children.
Well, that's because they have to film preschool.
Yeah. Yeah. They all came home to film the preschool.
Well, we are caught up on comments.
I love that
about
awesome.
us. You guys are all awesome. What else do we have going on?
Well, I just want to say thank you for continuing to welcome people. We met a lot of people through, just as we've kind of like just prayed that the Lord would, even through the RV community, help us to try to kind of, share keto with these families who are trying to better their health, and they've maybe never heard of it before, and we get to talk to them about it. And one of the feedbacks that we got this past week was, wow, this keto community is very welcoming. Yeah. They're shocked by it. They're shocked. Like, well, is there too many questions I can ask? And I'm like, no, everybody is super, super sweet because we've all been there. We've all we're just trying to get better health, and we've all been frustrated, and we have a million questions. So I just want to say thank you. As every new person joins our family group or has questions in the Discord, that you guys are just charming.
I do want to say, if you are out on the road and you see us,
yes,
come up and say hello. We had people saying to us like, oh, I was afraid to talk to you.
Somebody got a hotel room and stayed an extra night.
The only time I want to tell you don't come up and say hello to us is if you see us with actively filming ourselves.
Inside of a camper or something.
Well,
maybe.
If you see us filming, if we've got the camera and we're talking to the camera, stay on the side, and as soon as the camera goes down, come over and say hello. But seriously, don't be afraid to talk to us. We are below average, right? We're normal folk.
We want to
we're kind
see
of weird normal folk.
We want to see you.
Yeah, we want to. Don't be afraid of us because we are We
put a sticker on the back of our camper in the hopes that more people will be like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I know who those people are.
Yeah, don't be afraid to come and talk to us though. And again, unless we're in the middle of actually shooting a video, we want you to walk up to us and bother us.
I've got to get the date, but if you are living in the South Florida area, the end of, I want to say it's even next Friday. I'm going to be at the She Gathering at our church. It's just like a ladies' night. We're going to party. and I'm excited about it.
I want to look up the date for you.
I want to say it's like, is it the 28th?
I'll look up the date. You read comments.
But it's really fun. You want to come hang out. It's super girly. Lots of girly decorations and photo opportunities and some just like encouraging speakers talking about like women helping women. I love that. I'm all about it. So come hang out. I'll save
Shelly said, "You have the best keto community. Everyone here is amazing and encouraging."
I just love you guys. You guys make everything better. Even if I'm just sad about like extenuating circumstances that have nothing to do with my diet, I just want to like be near you guys because you just make life better. Just better.
Yeah, the date's not showing up. I believe it is like...
I want to say it's the 28th.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. But I will confirm it.
Yep.
We'll have it on Keto on the Couch for sure.
Renee said, "Woodwood, thanks to KK and Keto Chow for bringing us, so many of us together and establishing amazing friendship."
Hungry, he said that I was told that Shelly is the wrong woman for me, but I strongly disagree. She is my sensational Shelly. Wouldn't get rid of her for nothing. Oh my gosh. You are like super blessed, Heath. Like I think Shelly is like the absolute greatest. And you're the greatest guy too.
Oh, they're awesome. April said, "My hubby and I are planning a trip to Disney in September. We need to swing by there and meet you guys. Definitely.
Yes.
Just let us know.
Let us know when you'll be there.
We'll probably be camping in the area or something."
Yep.
We're doing a lot of our camping up in that area, like 2 to 3 hours away
there's
from
a
us.
lot of
because
cute
there's
stuff.
so much up there, and it is so different in
Great
the
amenities.
Orlando area compared to down here. Like getting up there is like getting into the mountains, or not in the mountains, but into the
like a
woods.
different place.
But down here, it's very like open, like palm
Beachy,
trees.
yeah.
When you get up there, you don't see many palm trees unless they've been brought in for places like Disney. Everything is oaks.
That's
down
the biggest
here, it's
thing.
Not the case.
That's the biggest thing that the kids noticed was like
Right.
once you got into the Apopka area, which is not far from Disney, they're like, "Where's the palm trees?" And I'm like, "They didn't bust them in,
Right.
so we don't got them." Shauna says, "I got some great support in Discord just before the live concerning my job. They can be annoying at times." See, I love that. Yes, because here's the thing. When you have stress in other areas of your life, it absolutely affects your ability to stay on plan with your eating.
Right.
You need to have like somebody to talk to about your work day, what's going on like with your fur babies, what's going on with your kids, like just making friendships and having a friend to go to about other areas of your life will actually help you to stay on target. Because here's the thing, I stress eat. That's a big problem that I've always had. Well, that has nothing to do with my relationship with food as much as it does like my relationship with other activities, right? Like I need to kind of verbalize what's going on in my life. What is stressing me out? If I can talk to a friend about it, maybe I won't need to go to the pantry for it.
Oh, Patty Potter's here. She said She Gathering is the 29th.
Oh, thank you, Patty. Hello. Yes. Okay, so Friday the 29th at 7 p.m., I will be, not Joe, because it's ladies only, at Coastal Community Church in Parkland, Florida. So come sit by me. I love it. So glad you're here, Patty.
I just saw something. Annie said, "Rachel, you guys make my day. My hubs and I will be in Port St. Lucie the last week of March. We may be up in that area.
Ooh, I think we might be actually.
Because I am planning a trip up to Jonathan Dickinson. I'm waiting
with the Dickinson.
I'm waiting to see what happens with lacrosse.
I love the Dickinson out of you.
Chris said, "We still have 4-day passes to Disneyland that need to be used. Maybe 2020 at the rate it's going." They actually just canceled all season passes. There are no more season passes for Disneyland.
How did they...
I think they're going to cancel Florida ones too. They're just waiting for the Florida ones to kind of run out. So Kay Gonzo, and then we're going to get off, said, wants to know, how much is too much caffeine? I don't know. Ask Rachel.
How fast can you run? Can you smell sounds yet? That's usually my threshold. No, I think that
there is a limit.
There is a limit. I think that if
Rachel doesn't know what it is.
I know. I'm still working on what is my actual threshold. Probably, I know that this is really hard to say. This is hard for me to say with my mouth. However, if you can fast from your caffeine for a while and then reintroduce it, and I'm somebody that it doesn't do well. I don't do well.
Yeah, but you do it once in a while.
But once in a while, I did a 30-day fast from coffee and reintroduced it because I just didn't like that it was the boss of me. And I did notice that every single day I continued upping it and upping and upping. And that, whether that is coffee, whether that is bangs or some other like, you know, caffeine source that you've got in your life, if you feel like there might be a problem, it's something to look at. It's something to examine.
Yeah. Okay, so Scootergate, good question. I'm looking to add more organ meat to my diet. Is there any reason I don't see liverwurst or Braunschweiger mentioned as keto friendly? No, because it is completely keto friendly. Dr. Berry talks about it. It is a great way to get liver in because it doesn't taste as bad as regular liver. Even Rachel has eaten it. It tastes. She really likes it with cream cheese.
With cream cheese. The cream cheese is the key. And I think it was Katrina. Was it Katrina or Rachel that suggested doing the cream cheese? And God bless you, because that made it way better.
I think some people get afraid of it because they look at the package and it's going to say some sugar, because I've never seen one that doesn't have sugar.
No, they open up and smell it, Joe.
No, people talk about it because
you have to get a separate refrigerator.
Pretty much every store-bought one is going to have a little bit of sugar. Pretty much every store-bought like hot dog is going to have some sugar. Every store-bought lunch meat is going to have sugar in it. And I have no problem with it. Dr. Berry talks about all the time, you can do keto with hot dogs and mustard. If that is the only way you can eat the liver, which is one of the ways that I like to eat the liver, unless I chop it up and hide it in our food.
Hide it good.
It's a great way to do it. There are a few you can get. Also, people see, well, there's a couple of carbs. Liver has carbs in it. People forget that. There is carbs in liver. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be eating it. Eat your liver. So, yeah, liverwurst is a great way to get it in. And I think people just don't talk about it because people don't like liverwurst.
Brush your teeth really good, though, because stinky.
Shauna said, I've cut back on my caffeine since making my morning keto chow with coffee. Okay.
With coffee. I like that.
Shauna said, the problem would be fasting caffeine. I need to keep my job and my friends.
Right. I'm seriously, I drink a ridiculous amount of coffee.
Liz wants to know if we give away the keto briquette. No, Monday. We're doing that on the Keto on the Couch, which we film on Saturday. So it'll be announced on Monday.
So make sure you go and comment on Keto on the Couch from last week.
Yep. Steph said, oh, my carbonated flavored mineral water is okay, and sparkling waters that are flavored.
Rachel, when are you doing another coffee fast? I will probably...
Drinking sparkling mineral water right now.
I will probably rein it in February. Mm-hmm. Probably, well, I will re-examine it, because I've been leaning pretty hard on it to get through the fast this month, to be honest. But in February, I'll probably rein it back. But that Bones coffee is so delicious, and this week in particular, you've been doing Jingle Bones.
Oh, yeah, because this is the last week. If you like Jingle Bones Coffee at Bones Coffee, it's 40% off. So there's a link down below.
They had some cheap shirts,
40% off on some of their Christmas flavors. So we bought like 5 bags of it.
What is Christmas flavors?
I don't know what's Christmas. Other than the name of it, there's nothing Christmassy about that flavor.
Does that feel Christmassy to you?
Like the mint one, I can get.
I can get the mint one. And there was like a peppermint one, which I still think we ordered.
No, we didn't order that one.
Which is the other one we ordered?
The fudge.
Fudge.
Like, how is that Christmas?
Right? And maybe because it reminds you of a Christmas story and the fudge line from that. But other than that, I'm going to drink it year round, yo.
Okay, we are going to get off. The kids have to come film elementary school for this weekend and for next week. So, Shauna said coffee that tastes like a reindeer. So, thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see everybody next week here at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
We love you guys.
Good night.